Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. This week I'm going to be making for you an entree of veal cutlet with a creamy lemon caper sauce. And I think you're really going to find it absolutely delicious, and it'll be an entree that'll impress your guests. So let's get started, okay? The first thing we're going to do is I've got about a cup of flour which I've mixed in with some nice coarsely ground black pepper. And I'm going to take these delicious veal cutlets that I got from the butcher, and they're nice and thinly sliced. As you can see, they've already been pounded nice and thin. And I'm just going to dredge each slice in the flour mixture. We're just going to take it like this and coat it with the flour. And don't be afraid to get in there and coat the veal nice and thoroughly on both sides. And I've gotten a prepared pan, a combination of some olive oil, canola oil, some olive oil, canola oil, and some butter. And I'm just going to be frying the veal right in this pan. Okay, I've got them all nice and browning in the pan. I'm going to flip them over. You can see how nice and caramelized they're getting here, nice and cooked. You want to brown them on both sides. Okay, and the oven will be, they will be continuing to cook in the oven in a little while. So we're just going to brown these nice. As you can see, they're nicely browning now on top of the stove. And while these are cooking, I just want to show you that in this pan I've got some mushrooms that I'm sauteing with some butter. It's about 2 cups of mushrooms with 2 tablespoons of white wine. And we're going to be putting this in our cream sauce later on. So these are cooking. My veal is beautifully browned and it's ready to be taken out of the pan. I'm just going to kind of lift it out and give it a little shake there and put it into a Pyrex dish. And they do look beautiful. It smells so good too. We're just going to put these in a Pyrex dish. Okay. And what I'm going to do is just stick these into a preheated 225-degree oven just to keep them warm while we're preparing the sauce. Okay, and if you come in here, you can see that the pan has all these lovely juices in here. I'm going to turn the heat way down. And what I'm going to do is deglaze this pan. I'm going to actually make the sauce right inside this pan. See, why don't I add the 3 tablespoons of butter to the pan. Okay, as you can see, this is starting to deglaze a little bit. Get up all these good drippings. Okay, now to this I'm going to add 2 cups of beef broth, and you can add whatever brand beef broth that you like to use. So I'm going to add that all nice in there. And we're going to continue to deglaze the pan, scraping along the bottom, getting all the edges out of there. Okay, now the pan is all deglazed. As you can see, everything's mixed in nicely. And now we're going to start adding our ingredients for the sauce. And a lot of times people are really afraid to make sauces, but they really shouldn't be because they're really not that hard to make. Next, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. Okay, so I'm going to just get that in there, in the sauce. And mix that in there. Okay, and next I'm going to be adding 3/4 of a cup of sour cream, dairy sour cream. I'm going to get that all incorporated in there. And next I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of delicious whipped Philadelphia cream cheese. The whipped variety makes it a little easier to get it incorporated into the sauce. So that's what we're going to be using here. And we're just going to kind of let this sauce melt. It's going to take a little bit to work this all in here. And once this gets broken down a little bit, I can use a whisk and actually get this nice and incorporated in here. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see, everything's starting to dissolve and get nice and creamy in that sauce mixture. And at this point I'm going to bring in my whisk and I'm going to further mix everything in. I'm just going to kind of go back and forth with a motion like this. And what this will do is break up any of the remaining pieces of cream cheese or sour cream that's in there. And as you can see, it's getting nice and uniform. It's a nice tan color right now. You can see the nice beef broth mixed in there. Okay, that looks good. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to thicken this up a little bit because for our sauce we want it to have a thick consistency. So what I've done is I've taken 2 tablespoons of flour and I've just mixed it together with some warm water till it forms like a paste. And what this does is kind of eliminates any real lumps that can get in the sauce. So I'm going to add that to my mixture. This is going to thicken it up. Okay. And again, I'm going to get my whisk and I'm going to blend this in. And this is going to start to thicken the sauce. Hi, we're back, and I just had to add a little more flour and water mixture to thicken it up a little more, and that's what happens sometimes with cooking. Nothing's an exact science, so I added another, I would say, 1.5 tablespoons of flour with water mixture, and as you come in, you can see it's now a really nice creamy texture, and it's brought it up to a low boil. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the heat, and I'm going to take this sauce off of the burner for a little bit and let it just cool down just a little bit before I add my remaining ingredients and finish up this delicious sauce for you. So we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. The sauce is now a little bit tempered. It's cooled off a little bit. So now I'm going to add my remaining ingredients to the sauce, and this is the part that's going to make it really luscious. So let's add our remaining ingredients. I've got the juice of 1 lemon, which is about 3 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And I'm going to add that little bit at a time to the mixture. And the lemon juice just, makes the flavor just pop. I love adding lemon in my cooking because it just adds so much richness and flavor. So we're going to have that all nice and mixed in now. Okay. Now next I'm going to add my mushroom mixture, which you can see now is all nice and deliciously cooked with the wine sauce. And I'm just going to try not to get the juice in there, and I'm just going to add the mushrooms to the sauce. So we're just going to add those in there. Again, that's about 2 cups of fresh mushrooms that have been cooked with butter and 2 tablespoons of white wine. And you can use any kind of white wine that you prefer, whether it's a dry or a sweet. That's totally up to you and your taste. Okay, so we're going to get that in there. We're going to whisk that in, and oh my goodness, this sauce is really starting to come together now. Okay, now that we have the mushrooms in there, I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of capers, the nonpareils, the little ones. Okay, and I'm going to put those in there. And I've also added about 1 tablespoon of the mixture of the capers because they have a delicious, nice, pungent flavor that's going to add to this cream sauce. Okay, we've got the capers and the mushrooms are added now, and last but not least, I'm going to add some nice freshly chopped parsley to the mixture, and I'm going to leave a little bit for the reserve for the top to garnish. And we're going to get that all nice and mixed up in here. And we're just going to let this cook a little bit more, maybe another few minutes, and I will come back and plate this up for you. So meet you back. As you can see, tonight's dinner is a delicious potato au gratin, and I've got some nice fresh asparagus. And as you can see here, I've got the delicious sauce in this nice gravy boat, and I'm just going to spoon it right over the top of the veal. And you can see the capers and the mushrooms. Oh, just delicious. Okay, I've got the parsley on there, and it's looking great. From this little Italian mama in Connecticut, I hope you'll try this delicious entree and enjoy it. Until next time, bye-bye.